Hi everyone, and welcome to our channel Rock to Run, where we discuss with industry leaders issues around AI infrastructure and data centers. Joining us today is Fernanda Belchior, who is Communications, Marketing, and Sales Operation Director at Elea Data Centers. So, Fernanda, thank you very much for joining us today.
My pleasure.
Fernanda, how do you see Brazil's role in the global AI data center landscape? And from your perspective, do you think the country is ready to become a regional hub for AI infrastructure?
I would say that Brazil is living a very good moment, a unique one. So you have a solid base in terms of consumer base. You have like million of population. So you have like different sectors that are digitalizing their industry and also their requirements for workloads. So you have like green energy and also a lot of hubs in terms of innovation to support AI, not only for the companies in Brazil and Latin America, but also US, Europe-based companies as well. So I would say that in terms of technology, human capital, and also sustainability approach, we are very, very lucky in a very good momentum.
Great, Fernanda. And what advantages does Brazil offer for hosting large-scale AI workloads? And how important are renewable energy, digital policies, and regulations in this context?
So Brazil nowadays has around 90% of its energy matrix renewable. So we have solar, wind, hydro here in the country. So we have plenty of energy not only to accommodate the current operations that you have running in Brazil in the country, but also the new one which will be fully dedicated to AI. So Brazil is the major country in terms of economic approach in Latin America. And again, I see that you are very well positioned to receive those investments basically because you have like the gold for AI, which is energy. And this energy in Brazil is green. So we have a lot of stakeholders, not only data center providers, but also institutions, government, the energy stakeholders, the energy supply chain as a whole, that have been working a lot in order to promote the investments, the necessary investments in order to absorb this upcoming demand. So I would say energy is key. Again, innovation is key, and you have here can import and export innovation capabilities. So I see this as a very good moment, not only for Latin America, but also for Brazil.
Fernanda, what are the main challenges that, from your point of view, are data center operators facing not only in Brazil but in the rest of Latin American markets?
I would say that when it comes to AI, we're dealing with unprecedented capacity. So if you think 10 years ago, you are talking about enterprise-oriented colocation providers that would be running like 1 megawatt at maximum in terms of data center capacity. Now we are dealing with our prospects and customers in order to absorb, to supply like 10, 20, 100 megawatts in terms of capacity. But I understand this is not a challenge for Brazil or Latin America. I see this as a challenge for the world because nowadays the technology that you are facing, that you are providing, is the same no matter the country, no matter the place. So you don't have like US doing something that will occur in Brazil or in other countries in Latin America 3, 5 years later. I think that you have like a lot of changes that have been occurring in the same time everywhere. So I see this as a challenge, but also an opportunity for the
Okay.
industry as a whole work in a different approach, in a more ecosystem oriented approach. So I'm very positive about the market because I understand that because of the new volumes that you have to absorb, you are going to work in a more supply oriented way with different stakeholders and thinking technology in a more sustainable and competitive way.
That's interesting, Fernanda. And Fernanda, how are customer demands evolving with the rise of AI workloads from your perspective?
I would say that the majority will come from the big techs the cloud providers because they have like a lot of training models, LLMs, devices in order to deploy. But I see also maybe in a middle long-term opportunity for enterprise-oriented companies also require workloads for AI demand as well. So health, insurance, the finance sector. So I see different approaches. Of course, big tech nowadays is the major demand worldwide. So, but I still see a lot of opportunity for AI agents that will be applied for the corporate market as well.
Fernanda, you have mentioned some verticals, some industries, but what types of industries are driving the strongest demand for Elea services right now?
Yeah, nowadays you have like hundred of corporate customers and you have different approaches and different requirements for different sectors. So I would say that educational, financial, health insurance are very important for us. Not only the private sector, but the government one is very, very demanding from Elea. Oil and gas is super important in Brazil as well. So I see that we have a lot of distribution in terms of the portion of the revenue, which is very beneficial for the company economic health, you know. So by the time you have digitalization improving in the country after especially 2020, I think that you have an opportunity to increase our sales in different markets in different verticals beside big techs.
Okay, so finally, Fernanda, could you please share some updates on the company's ongoing data centers projects in Brazil? I have noticed that there is a significant project in Rio de Janeiro. Maybe you can share some details about that project too.
Yeah. So Elea nowadays has 9 data centers. They are interconnected across Brazil. We are fed by 100% renewable energy. So
Mhm.
it's the biggest distributed IT platform in a sustainable way that you have in the country. We are very proud of it. And in Rio de Janeiro, we are building Rio AI City. This will be a city of data centers that will be supplying AI and cloud demands, especially for major customers. So this investment will have like a very wholesale approach, will be fed in the same sense of our platform, 100% with renewable energy. And it's very interconnected. We have a lot of entrance of subsea cables arriving in Rio City. And the goal is to reach in the first phase 1.5 gigawatts, in the second phase up to 3 gigawatts. So imagine that it looks like that if I get all the energy that has been used in São Paulo, which is like a very important city in Latin America, and
Yeah.
put in Rio AI City in order to accommodate these AI workloads. So this is very huge. I would say this is one of the biggest projects worldwide that you have that we are aware of in terms of capacity and will be 100% green, not only for operation but also for the construction parameters.
And when is that project expected to go operational?
We have already RJ01, a data center that we acquired, is in the same campus. This data center is operational already, and
Okay.
you are building the next phases with greenfield projects, data centers, and the goal is to start new capacity by next year.
Okay. Well, that's really interesting. Fernanda, thank you again very much for your time today.
Thank you, my pleasure.
And thank you all for watching. And please stay tuned for more conversations on this critical space.